Shalom, shalom. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Call Halon Yallah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Of honor to the apostles, the elders, a great millstone. Peace, blessing, salutation to the hopefully elect. It's your brother Isaiah with the Pittsburgh GMS camp. Coming to another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. When this lesson is edifying. Okay? I'm going to entitle this lesson something to the effect of the least of the flock shall draw them out. Okay? And essentially what this is going into is Amalek, who we know as the Khazars, the Small Hats, the 1948ers, the various different, the dreidel players, the various different names that, code names we have to come up with to mention these people due to the fact that you get blacklisted and blackballed and so on and so forth, blocked, canceled if you talk about these people, especially if you're very famous, but also in the YouTube algorithm. Here's the scripture, Jeremiah 50:45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of Yahweh that he have taken against Babylon and his purposes. They have purpose against the land of the Chaldeans. Okay, this is speaking in code. Babylon today, Babylon the Great is America. Okay. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. All right, and I'm gonna play. Let me make sure I can mute this mic with a button. Yeah, I can mute my mic by pressing this button. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna mute myself so there's no echo, and I'm gonna play this clip.
Programming with break. Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Davis. We're interrupting your regularly scheduled programming with breaking news. ABC News has learned that Israel has launched an attack on Iran, likely targeting Iran's nuclear sites. Tensions have been mounting in the region for several days. President Trump told reporters earlier today that it could happen at any time. We want to go right to Selena Wang, who is at the White House for us. Selena, what's the latest reporting?
Well, Lindsay, we don't have details on the size or the scope of this attack, but earlier today I had asked President Trump just how imminent an Israeli strike on Iran's nuclear facility could be, and President Trump told me that it very well could happen. But he also stressed again that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon and made clear that he would prefer a diplomatic resolution to this. The president also said that last month he had warned Netanyahu not to launch such a strike. The president is concerned that this attack could actually derail ongoing U.S. and Iran negotiations. The president has been signaling for many weeks now that he believes the U.S. and Iran are close to a deal. But then just in recent days, the president has become less confident. But his envoy, Steve Witkoff, Lindsay, he is planning to travel to Oman for scheduled talks with his Iranian counterparts on Sunday. This is after multiple rounds of talks between the U.S. and Iran. The president today, as of just hours ago, still optimistic that an agreement could be reached. We'll see how this changes things.
Selena Wang from the White House, thank you. I want to go now to Marcus Moore in Tel Aviv, who's in a shelter there. Again, we just talked about these escalations and what it could potentially mean for these peace talks, which we were expecting to happen just days from now. Marcus, what are you learning?
Well, Lindsay, I can tell you that the tension has already, as you know, been high across the region. And just moments ago, the air raid sirens went off here in Tel Aviv, and there was an announcement on the loudspeaker here in the hotel where we're staying and working, and it urged everyone, the guests, to get to the shelter on their floor. And so that's where we are right now. Just to show you around just a little bit, you can see they have some supplies in here. There are cots, and guests have also joined in these shelters to try to get to a safe place. Because, Lindsay, the concern has been all along over any potential Israeli strike on Iran, that there would be a response. And so following what the Israelis have called a preemptive strike tonight here in the Middle East, in Iran, they soon after that sounded the alarms for anyone really across all of Israel to get to their bomb shelters, anticipating that there would be a response from Iran, and a response, Lindsay, that would be quite swift. And what we have heard from the Iranians is that if any of their locations were hit, whether they're nuclear or not, that they would respond in kind. And so that is why there's been so much concern here tonight.
And we are taking a live look at Jerusalem at this moment. Marcus Moore, thank you. Want to bring in former State Department official and ABC News contributor Colonel Steve Ganyard. He joins us now. Steve, obviously, it cannot be overstated here just how widespread these implications are.
Indeed, Lindsay. And we want to find out what actually went on here. Apparently, President Trump told Benjamin Netanyahu just recently that the U.S. would not participate. So this seems to be an all-Israeli operation. Now, the Israelis do not have bombers, so they aren't able to drop the kind of ordnance that would penetrate deep into the buried sites that the Iranians hold their centrifuges. So the question here is, what did the Israelis hit? We are seeing some reports in Tehran that some air defense sites and military sites within Tehran have been hit, but that's not really the nuclear program. And that was the intent of the strikes tonight. The other thing we need to think about here, Lindsay, is that the Iranians have thousands of missiles, ballistic missiles, cruise missiles that can reach Tel Aviv, reach Israel. And so obviously Israel's on alert and expecting some sort of a retaliation from the Iranians quite soon.
And Steve, just want to stay with you here because we are just hearing from a U.S. official that the United States did not have any involvement. They were not in no way assisting with Israel in this attack. You have to imagine that this was the last thing the United States wanted, certainly not in anyone's best interest.
President Trump has been holding out hope that the negotiations that are going on in Oman were supposed to go on Sunday would actually lead to something, but he has also been very frustrated. The Israelis see the ability of the Iranians to create a nuclear weapon as an existential threat. And so their ability to tolerate the kind of delays that we've seen out of the Iranians is very different from the U.S. So Benjamin Netanyahu made the decision to do what the Israelis have literally been planning for decades to do, and that is go after those nuclear sites to try to set back the Iranian nuclear program.
Steve Ganyard for us, we thank you so much for your time, and we are now going to return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Our coverage continues on ABC News Live and abcnews.com. I'm Lindsay Davis in New York. Have a good night.
This has been a special report from ABC News.
All right, Con, that was a long video. 5 minutes. So I can 27 seconds long. Okay, but nevertheless, you can see what's going on, you know, and you get just a few scriptures. It's really more so of a lamb backing off of the breaking news. You know, of course, everybody more than likely seen it already, but nevertheless, we're to report on these things. The book of Matthew chapter 24. All right, and Yahushua speaks about this, right? Matthew 24:6 says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." Now we understand that the valley of Armageddon, okay, of Armageddon, is the third woe, which is the final world war, which will happen. And there's an end time prophecy that we're looking to understand what times we're in, okay? Because they will be fighting when Yahushua comes. You know, but Jacob's trouble also is, as you see simultaneously, Jacob's trouble is kicking off, you know, here in America, Babylon the Great, with these ICE deportations, all right, and these riots that are happening. As a result, okay, you see how Esau's playing Jake against Jake, okay, you know, with, you know, the so-called Mexicans and Latinos coming out and saying, you know, where are the so-called black people to help us during these times, when there have been, as the scriptures say, your eye shall be evil towards your brother. And the scriptures talk about Judah vexing Ephraim, and Ephraim, let me get that. Isaiah 11 and 13 says, "Also the envy of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim." So, but right now you will have that, okay? Because this is speaking about when the kingdom is established. Which you have that happening amongst the brethren, where you know the Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom are working in tandem together, all right, for us to build the tabernacle of David, all right, so to speak. Which I mean, that's actually what we're doing spiritually, as the scripture said. Okay, that temple is being built is it consists of 144,000 men. Okay, but going back, okay, and then also we're waiting on the MOTB. That's going to be the next major prophecy, which we have. What we have here? We have another round of the C19. Okay, a new variation of it. All right, and then they're approving snake bites already for the new variation. So, okay, you know, Esau's moving very, very quickly. As the scriptures say, the devil coming down having great wrath, for we know he have but a short time, and we're seeing back-to-back things happening, and this could be it. You know, this could be it, and we're excited. Okay, you know, but you know, we have to make sure that we maintain, maintain our sanity, and just pray that this is it, and also endure however long the Lord wants us to stay here. But hey, man, Lord willing, we'll be out of here soon. Okay, well, Lord willing, we'll be out of here soon. All right, so that's it. Call on Allah, Yahweh, Bashem, Yoshai, Bashem, Rakakadash. Lord willing, this was somewhat informative, in the least, to the elect, man. Shalom.